guys, Matthew Marr with MorrowInvest.com. I'm bringing you today's 2-minute tip of the day. So I get told this a lot. Matthew, I can't. I can't memorize things. Oh man, you just don't understand. You know, I'm dyslexic. Matthew, I have a learning disability. Matthew, I don't read well. Look, you're going to not get a lot of sympathy from me on those particular things. Not because I'm at all making fun of that, but I'm a C student. I mean, when I tell you I failed accounting and it took everything I could to pass accounting 1 and 2 at Auburn's business school, I'm telling you the truth. I mean, I took brownies. I did everything I could do extra credit-wise to make sure to pull out a C because it just didn't make sense to me. Reading was the same thing. I'm one of those people that if you show me how to do it, I can repeat it. But if you just make me read something and repeat it, I don't comprehend it as well. Now I've gotten better over the years as I force myself to learn things. But when people say that they can't learn those things, I say, oh really? Well, what about this? Amazing grace. How sweet the sound. Oh, okay. Well, what about without the written consent of National Football League? Oh, you know that. What about I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, right? You know that, right? What about when I was in 7th grade and we read Romeo and Juliet? All she doth teach the soldiers to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in Ethiopia. Beauty too rich for use for earth too dear. Why do I remember that? It's because my teacher put it on 3x5 cards and we had to learn it over and over and over again, and it was going to be on our test, right? If I asked you, what's your first phone number? Well, my first phone number when I was a kid was, let's see, 2727410. 334-272-7410. Well, what was your address? Well, it was Route 5, Box 321J. Now, why do I remember those things? I was 5, 6 years old. It's because they made us say them over and over and over and over and over again. And I promise you that even though you say, well, I don't, Matthew, when you start throwing words in there, you know, when I say, okay, to find out what your return is, you're going to take your net divided by your gross, and that's going to give you your return, and then you're going to divide by time. Some of you are like, oh, Matthew, I will never get that. Well, if you say I'll never, then you won't. If you say I can't, you can't. You have to learn, and you get to cheat. I've said this in another video. We are no longer in school. If you don't know what this means, go to Investopedia and reread it. And you know what? If you don't get it, reread it again. And if you don't get it, guess what? Reread it again. And if you still don't get it, go ask someone. Go ask someone that does know and say, look, I have tried and tried and tried to get this into my thick skull to try to memorize this, and I just can't memorize it. I just don't know what to do. And they'll help you and teach you some way to do it, you know, so that you can get it. So when people tell me that, I just can't get math, you can if you try, if you continue to work at it. What if it takes you 50 years to get it? It might take you 50 years, but still, it's a learning process every single day. The rules of these games are laws, what can be sued, what can't be sued, how companies are set up, what the tax code is. All those things on a daily basis are changing. And that is per county, per city, per state, per country. I mean, they are literally changing constantly. There are laws being proposed right now that are going to affect business. And business is going to have to change with the ebb and flow of what's coming, right? So when you tell me, well, I just can't memorize things, you can, right? I would find a way, whether it be through music, whether it be through repetition, something, and I guarantee you'll be able to memorize some things. Because some of you, if we started doing movie quotes, some of you have got so much junk in your head. You know, I'll tell people, I'll say, hey, what's in your 401k? What's in your retirement? And they're like, oh, I don't know. It's just with Fidelity or it's with something, right? But they don't know what they're making. But yet, if you ask them about their favorite college football player, right? They know they know that kid's number. They know every person on the field. They know where they went to high school, what their average running percentage is, what their throwing arm. They know every little detail about that. So when people tell me those things, or they're betting on golf or whatever, and then they tell me that they can't know what their investments are doing, they can. They're just not putting their time and effort into things that are important. And I guarantee you, it does not matter who wins the football game. When you are in the game of life, you are only given so much time and you are only going to make so much money. And if you want to impact not only others, but your family, you need to focus on things that are important. And I don't want to sound like money is the only thing important, because that's certainly not true. But money sure does make things, it sure does help, It does help, and I'm telling the truth. So I hope that this will encourage you to focus on things that you want to learn. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the time. There's no other way to do it. Some of these things I'm still learning. There's things that I've learned that I forget, and I have to relearn. And then I think, man, I should know that. But it's okay. It is a constant learning process. I hope you guys are blessed. Have a great day.